Hello, my name is Carl, and today we're going to go over the concept of liquid immersed cooling. So, what is liquid immersed cooling? So, the method we are going about today is taking a computer, such as a gaming computer workstation, server even, and instead of cooling by traditional means with a set of fans or by running coolant through the circuitry and spinning it back around to cool, we are talking about immersing the whole unit into a vat of alcoholic type of liquid that would cool it and keep circulating it so that it doesn't overheat. So specifically what we're going to reference here is a computer showed up at the electronic show SC17 by Allied Computers. Essentially, what they did was they took a set of 10 NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070s and they immersed them in a special type of liquid called Novak. So, this Novak, spelled NOVEC, is a kind of alcoholic liquid. And what it does is it has a very low boiling point, around 69 degrees Fahrenheit, which typically speaking is about where you want to keep your products to avoid overheating. And what they were able to develop with this is that by encasing those that computer with the several GTX 1070s, and by running through this liquid, they would heat that liquid up. And so what would happen is that when it hit that boiling point, it would rise to the top, become a gaseous state, and then through a series of combining with other liquid, it would just recirculate back to the bottom and then continue the cycle. And just for comparison on this, just by touching a little bit of this liquid with your hand, you're able to feel it start to dissipate and go away already. So it is a very quick acting liquid. And so, in regards to this issue, it rather fixes a lot of issues with cooling in regards to having to run fans, which typically fans tend to get very dusty very quick. That particles of dust, cat hair, dog hair, anything that you can find in a normal home or in a larger sense, a farm or computer farm is not good at all. You don't want those little particles going through your computer. And while in a home sense you don't really see the whole huge impact on it, it can cause damage if left unattended. And you don't want to see any of that when it comes to a specialized facility like a server farm. And so that seems to eliminate that need because it's encased, it's self contained with all the particles and any type of outside interference is kind of negated. Now, you might also think the same thing with traditional liquid cooling that kind of goes around the components, it heats up the liquid, and then circles back to a radiator to kind of cool off. And that still sense you still have a lot of outside air coming in to cool it down, and so that is still kind of a factor of the dust and the particles getting in. So with that said, this seems like a very interesting approach to that because when you have these server farms, like mentioned, you have these 10 NVIDIA GeForce GTXs, you are not only creating a lot of heat, it's also a lot of electricity. And I imagine for something like this, you would definitely not want to have anything lost. If that went down, your website could go out for several minutes. That's a lot of sales you could be losing. So be able to prevent any type of outside factor, dust, particles, and keep it up running 24/7, basically without much supervision, is a very, very interesting subject. And while these articles I'm reading through referencing these came out from PC Magazine and CNET back a few years ago in 2017, since then we have systems such as Puget Systems. Puget is a do-yourself kit for a mineral oil cooled PC. Well, so a little bit different than the Novec that we were talking about here. Same idea follows, where it's almost like a fish tank, where the liquids come through and they just kind of rotate circular as you heat them up. They go through a kind of radiator cool down and come back into the system. And so now you're starting to see these become a lot more conventional for the home user. And while I don't personally see a big use for these in a home sense, since you really don't need that much cooling for a little gaming computer at most. These are very useful in a work environment and could even be something implemented for home use if you did so want to set up your own little mini server, maybe for your own website or for your own type of video game server and etc. And so that's why I wanted to basically go over, make you aware about this type of innovation. I hope you would take a look at that. All the articles and the websites of those I will include in the links below. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.